Lots of hype around today, right? Today's a big game feeling because today is the premiere of a new game. It's a game we've been waiting for quite some time.
Persona 5, Persona 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, of course.
Finally, after many, many years of anticipation, Persona 5 has finally released here in the United States. Already I'm seeing some people
being silly in the stream chat. Why doesn't Phil just completely turn off all pop-up messages from the Persona 5 playthrough to totally avoid any spoilers?
Because then the stream won't be interactive. In which case, I'm going to be playing a 100-hour game in the month of April where I won't be getting tips or subs or cheers, which is not the point. The reason I've done it is to save the business so I can keep doing this as a job. And if I turn them off, guess what? People will stop doing that participation, and therefore I will go out of business. That's why I thought I kind of made this clear last month. I made the changes in order to be able to keep doing this as a job and save the business. Why people think I can just automatically go back to the way it was, I have no idea, because it's not going to happen. Now, I have to lay down the law, folks, because here's the deal with Persona 5, alright? You know, whenever I do narrative-based games, whenever I do narrative-based playthroughs,
you have trolls.
And they're going to be in here, they're probably going to be spamming with bits, they're going to be putting up stupid messages, spoiler messages. They do it all the time, you know? They do it on purpose to try to spoil for everyone. So the first thing I'm going to say is you got to take this with a grain of salt. I mean, we do have mod staff, but the mod staff aren't going to be here 24/7, and they're not going to be able to prevent everything. So you got to be careful during the course of this playthrough. Keep your eyes and ears peeled, and if you see something that looks like a spoiler, or if you're not playing the game yourself and you don't want to be spoiled at all, you might want to stay away from stream chat. I'm just saying, there's not much we can do about it, okay? So, in order to avoid spoilers during the Persona 5 playthrough, here's the deal, folks. Here's how it's going to happen. I will still be accepting tips and cheers, and subs. Any subscription, any new subscription or resubscription during the playthrough, you will see the on-screen pop-up, as you've already seen. Miss Kelcher resubscribed, and we had this really cool on-screen pop-up, alright? However, if you want your message to appear on-screen,
you need to do either a $5 tip or a 500-bit cheer.
Now, I didn't want to do this, but I know exactly what would happen if I didn't. You would get people coming in here with dollars. You know, oh, I have $1, I know, I'll completely ruin the game for everyone. And they'll freaking post up spoilers, and that's what I want to try to avoid, alright? So at least by putting some kind of a threshold here, it's not to say that it's going to 100% stop everyone from abuse. It's not. There's still going to be people who are going to be, you know, abusing stuff. No doubt there will be people who are going to try to spoil anyway. And again, that's why we have to be careful here. We have to take the game with a grain of salt. We have to, whenever you see a spoiler, try to kind of write it off your mind. There's nothing you can do about it, alright? But at least by
putting a $5 threshold
on the messages appearing on screen, we could try to prevent message spam, we could try to prevent spoiler spam, we could try to prevent everything. Okay? So, we'll see what happens. We'll see how it goes. You know, I may adjust this daily. We'll see. But yeah, if you want to have your message appear on screen, it's either got to be a 500-bit cheer or a $5 tip. That way it will prevent it. Now, here's the thing, though, folks. I will still be giving thank you shoutouts for all of the cheers and the tips and everything that I receive.
Patreon.
I want to say thanks to everyone who did pledge to my March Patreon. But as I predicted, a lot of people lowered their pledges, withdrew their pledges, because they were like, Phil's doing good. You know, his streams in March did great, and he's making a lot of money on Twitch now, and therefore he doesn't need the Patreon support anymore.
And that's kind of the exact polar opposite of the situation. In order to keep this afloat, I need to keep everything at kind of the same levels they've been.
I can't have a decline in any one of my income sources, so please, if you're watching today's stream, you're enjoying it, and, you know, you're like, man, I really like to see Phil do this long term and keep doing this, Patreon's a great way to contribute, alright?
My Teespring store is back, ladies and gentlemen.
For those who were wondering, my Teespring store was gone for almost a week. The reason being that it was gone, okay, was because there were some technical issues that were screwing everything up.
And again, I apologize that I had to up the limits. Obviously, I didn't want to have to up it to $5, but
sadly, you know what's going to happen if I don't do that. You're going to have people coming in, spamming stupid shit, and spoiling the game and doing all kinds of dumb stuff. So, apologies there, but I think it's necessary in order to keep the integrity of the playthrough, okay? I'm going to say it again. I'm not turning off notifications as a whole, and anyone who's saying that is basically spamming the stream chat and wasting their time. I've already explained, this is the new way that I'm doing gameplay. I have to do it to keep the business afloat. If you don't understand that, I don't know what else I could tell you, like...
You have to be mature here and kind of think about it. Either you could put up with the messages, or I'm gone for good. So which would you prefer? Playthroughs that have occasional messages every once in a while on screen that are themed to the games? Or would you like me to never do gameplay again and go away forever? I think you know what the better of two evils is here. You know what I mean? Like, seriously, you gotta be mature about it.
I know there's some people, you're so resistant to change, right? Oh my god, it changed. Yeah, it changed. But that's life. You gotta adapt to survive, or you become obsolete. And right now, YouTube ad revenue is so bad, it's not enough to support a business. Unless you're getting millions of views, because YouTube fucked up. And all of the fucking idiots, who, work for fucking Google, sorry to say it.
You're idiots, because you fucked up your business.
By putting advertisements on videos without screening the videos. You have a business set up where people upload literally like 400 hours of footage per minute with no screening process, and you wonder why advertisers don't want to put ads on your website. I mean, you have to be an idiot to not realize this was going to happen. I've been talking about this for 3 years, that a business model like this cannot exist in the long term, because advertisers are not going to keep throwing money when their ads are just going on any old video that either no one's watching or someone who's not even in their customer base is watching, so they don't get anything out of it, and especially offensive videos. This was bound to happen. This was seriously bound to happen, but, I guess Google and YouTube employees aren't that smart. Like I've said for years, which people kind of ignored or said, I'm just being salty or whatever. Google employees are book smart. They're not street smart. So they wrote all these fancy fucking algorithms. Oh, we're so smart, we're Ivy League educated, we got algorithms to assign ads to our videos. And then all the ads went to stupid videos, like terrorism and fucking racism. And the advertisers saw this and said, well, fuck you, we're pulling our ads then because your website sucks. Your business model sucks. And that's what happened. So all these advertisers pulled their ads. And it's not surprising. It was like bound to happen. It was an inevitability. Okay?